Mm, I was talking to myself. How's everybody doing? How you feeling? How's everything? Did you all have a good week? See, got 13 people in here. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button on your way in. If you don't do it on your way in, do it on your way out. Don't forget to share the content, share it with others, share it with your mama, share it with your daddy. What's going on, Rob? What's going on, Akron? All right? How y'all doing? Did y'all get a chance to check out Tech Tip Tuesdays? We launched that on Tuesdays. We got Tech Tip Tuesdays. STEM Nomad, what's going on? Did y'all get a chance to check out Foolish Finance Fridays? Ladies, don't be in the cemetery washing up with your cooch. Don't put your cooch right there in the cemetery washing up. Haunted cooch. 80 miles in 3 hours. That's sad. What's going on, Rachel? I don't know. I don't know. I don't drive through Denver. I'm usually just around my little local area. Sorry, Afro. Tech Tip Tuesdays. All right. I got a few more shows that I'm launching. We got some people that's gonna come and help out. Afree's gonna help out. We got a financial review for blogs that's coming. What's going on, Don? Did you make your house call this morning? Your 6 a.m. Workout with your client. Freaky Finance Fridays. I think I like that name better. Freaky Finance Fridays. I think I like that name better. All right, this is my thoughts. I think I like that name better. My baloney has a first name. That's just me. That's what I'm thinking. You off today? Okay. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I will give you that. You off today. Now, because you off, does that mean you off, or that means you just chilling? So Friday night. So let's go over the shows. So what we got down for Monday, D? What is Monday? What do we have for Monday, D? I'm gonna pull it up. I'm telling you what we're doing. My goal is to release a video a day. That's my goal. A video a day. I know, I know. When do you get some sleep? Like David never sleep, Tam never sleeps. We don't sleep. Team no sleep. Team no blink. Sleeping four. Oh, this workout here we need to be doing. Oh, I know where it's at. It's called right here. All right. I'm pulling up my list. Pulling up my list. D, I don't know why you got that sleep on there. You might as well cut it out. All right. Oh yeah. Mondays is Go Mondays. We're gonna. I gotta look at that list from Vladimir and release Go Mondays. We're gonna do that. We talked about. Yeah, we got to get back to binary hustler. It's on the way. I got a whole thing. I'm in the back, man. I'm in the back with my Birdman hands. Don't worry, there, done. I got you covered. I got that blue magic. Tech Tip Tuesdays, recap Wednesdays. We got meetup on Wednesdays, recap Thursdays. and I call petty tea Fridays, but we're gonna do that. I don't. I like live audiences, so we could chop it up. But I like live audiences, so it's my drug. And Sunday will probably be recorded, but it'll be security Sundays. So those that are interested in Sunday. So I do it again. I should call it programming Mondays because it's not going to be just about go. It'll be programming Mondays, tech tip Tuesdays, Wednesdays is the meetup, recap of the meetup on Thursdays. Just like, hey, this is a recap. Make sure y'all are stay informed, what have you. I like to call them petty tea Fridays, but they actually foolish Fridays, foolish finance Fridays. Saturdays we do our shows. Saturday is just Saturday, you know what it is, and then security Sunday, right? Saturdays we got this show, tech stocks and jobs and how we Linux, and then security Sundays. After the problem with recording, I'm talking to myself. At least here, I get a little feedback. Well, when you record pre-recording, I'm just talking to myself. Mm, bad business. And then we got binary hustlers, so I need to do that. Need to knock all of that out. All right. So if you didn't catch Tech Tip Tuesdays, you should have caught that short. Yeah, we're gonna post the schedule. We got Tech Tip Tuesdays. We got Foolish Finance Fridays. That's coming. That's already out. We already did those. So and then tomorrow be Security Sunday. So be on the lookout for Security Sunday. All right. So, well, why are we here today? Well, there's a lot been going on. Um, oh yeah, 300K, 500K earners. Don't forget you had a video that we did. We'll be doing another video, and I got some stuff lined up for you all as well too. I actually want to drop a link, like a private link for you all because I want to talk to you all in a group setting, not just on YouTube, but actually in a private session where we can actually chop it up, right? So be on the lookout for that. I'll have descheduled it. Yeah, we just chop up what we got. We got some chopping up to do. It's all good. So, why are we here today? We're here to talk about a lot of things. A lot of things been going on. Prayers out to everyone who's lost someone this week. There's been the tornadoes. What do you got to do to be 300, 350K? Oh, 300K, 500K. You should have, I'm not sure where you're looking at, Rob, but you should have a join button. I know on the desktop it has a join. Let me look on the phone. It should have that on the phone, and you can pick your poison for that. Let me let me go. I always look at it on the desktop, but let me go look at it on the actual channel. Oh, it says see perks on your phone, and you click see perks. Let me see. Oh yeah, I'm already a member, so I can't see it. I'm a member, so I can't see it. But you should be able to see a join button. And it should give you 100K, 300K, 500K to join, and it should tell you it's a video there that accompanies that, and you can see which one you like, what you want to do, right? So people lost lives this week. The tornadoes, um, the crazy guy in Florida, in St. Pete, unalived the girl, then tossed the baby in with the alligators, and they found the baby in the alligator's belly. Like this crazy. Then you have the stuff going on for just the the shootings in Nashville. I believe that was Nashville. I think that's right. I think it was Nashville. And just craziness, right? So, you know, don't forget to protect yourselves out there in terms of your sanity and mental health, and as well as what's going on with you when it comes down to just people around you and so forth, right? So let me give a shout out to all who's here: Rob, Afri, Dunn, Black Dub 21. We see you. Rachel, see you out there, STEM Nomad. What's going on? I gotta get in touch with you, STEM Nomad. I didn't forget. But I'm you on the list. You on the list. All right, Colton Evelyn, what's going on? All right, so where are we here today? What we gonna talk about today? We got a lot to talk about. Um, it won't be any petty tea today. Well, let me say this: there won't be just a petty tea segment. It'll be a sprinkle of petty tea. I don't know how they found that alligator because that water that baby be in got tons. It's a Lake Magori. He had to find them there. Let me see. Let me pull that up. Let me do images. Um, all right. So D share the screen. Here go Lake Magori right here. Look, you can look right here. This is the image of that lake right here. Like that's a lot of. I don't know how they found. I don't know if he told them exactly where or what have you, but here's Lake Magori right here, right? So I don't know what that was. I don't know how they found. I don't know if he had somebody got a pet and he gave it to a pet. I don't know. I don't know the whole story, but yeah, this is known, right? And this is like known for people to have these alligator here. Like experts doubt the alligators killed 16-year-old found last week at Lake McGorry. Like everybody know about this. Right? That's just one of them things. You just not going out on this lake right here just to be chilling. Right. And this was in 2019 right here. Right. So yeah. I don't know. Craziness. All right. So what will people do for money? What will people do for money and access? What will people do for money and access? That's what we're gonna start the show off with. I found this interesting um, because a lot of people don't want to pay for access. They don't want to pay for um, being in the room, right? Being in the room. Say parents are paying consultants $750,000 to get their kids into Ivy League schools. The average Ivy League school is approaching $90,000 a year. So 90,000 times five still doesn't cover this $750,000 that they're paying to get their kids into the school for access. You silly Africa, get out of line. It's the Everglades. Access. People are paying for access. What is the most you're willing to pay for access? What's the most you're willing to pay to be in a room? Right? There's something you got to ask yourself. And what room are you trying to get into? And what's your plan once you get in the room? Do you have a plan? Do you network? Are you going to be quiet? Are you going to go to the events? What are you going to do? Are you going to sit on the sidelines once you get there? Are you gonna walk up to people? Your network? What's your game plan? Right? What's your game plan? Right? Acceptance rates at the nation's top universities are plunging, and parents are doing whatever it takes to get in to get their kids in. Oh, I gotta go over to my next one. Oh, let me see if I can open this up somewhere else because I have access to Bloomberg. But let me see if I can open it up somewhere else. Hold on. Mm, 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 mm. Let me see. I may have to go back to my Apple News. Hold on. We go right here. And let me look up Bloomberg here. And let's see if we can find this. If not, I'm gonna have to go somewhere else and find it. Cause I wanted to read you that article. Wah, 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 wah. Hold on, let me see some. Do do do. Let's see if we can get it still. If not, it's all good. All right, let's get signed in on this right here. All right. I think, yeah, cool. Yeah. All right. So, all right, backing up. Acceptance is a plunging the mantra for making it into America's top school rings from New York City to Kentucky, whatever it takes. College consultants charging as much as $750,000 to build out applications starting in the seventh grade. Starting in the seventh grade. Starting in the seventh grade. So by the time your kid, basically what they're saying, by the time your kid reaches sixth, seventh grade, it's too late for you all. That's what they're saying. It's too late. And they already got the money set up for that. What they need to have, what events they need to attend, who they need to network with, what do they need to have on their applications, what do they need to have accomplished, what tournaments they should be attending, what debates they should be in, how to debate, how to build a business. What does that look like? Right? So college consultants are charging as much as 750,000 to build out applications starting in the seventh grade. Worth it, says Hope Choi, whose son is applied to 22 schools and has already won a spot at Yale, and he in the seventh grade. Rob, thank you for becoming a new member. Seventh grade, right? Ivy League prices approaching 90,000. What's a couple of thousand more in debt? Asked 18-year-old Addison Watucky, who set her hopes on Harvard or Brown. Brown was the school I wanted to go to. Filled out the application. I never turned it in. Got all the references, did all the work. I never turned it in. Brown was the school I wanted to go to. All right. Despite the public outcry about America's student loan crisis and soaring college costs, the appeal of the elite education has gotten stronger. Acceptance rates have plunged below 5%, meaning securing a spot at the top institution feels like akin to winning the lottery. It's leaving parents and students wanting a prestigious, if expensive, degree now more than ever and hunting for the best ways to boost their chances. Right? Does the prestige pay? Minuscule acceptance rates at some of the top colleges illustrate the necessity of finding an edge. Out of more than 59,000 students who applied to the University of Pennsylvania, UPenn, 2,400 got accepted. Yes, acceptance rate this year was 4.35%. That's almost like a CD. With the application pool being the largest in the college histories after growing by nearly 50% since 2020. What do those rates look like? Let's blow this up so you can see it. Blow it up one more time.
It's 11:35 a.m.
Thank you, Siri. All right. Harvard University, its acceptance rate was 3.4%, Columbia 3.9, University of Penn 4.1%, and it's got a star by it. It says the University of Penn does not release exact application numbers. Yale 4.4, Brown 5.1, and Dartmouth 6%. Right? Right? What are you willing to pay to be in the room? What are you willing to pay to be in the room? What are you willing to pay to gain access? They're talking $750,000. They're already preparing. We get prepared at 10th grade, possibly. So that means we're already 3 years behind, right? Is that more than 3 years? Seventh grade, eighth grade, ninth grade, 10th grade. Yeah, 3 to 4 years, depending on that. That's pretty much true. Seventh graders, kids in their AP classes, and they will continue that in high school if they're not arguing that the course they won't be competitive with. Yeah, yeah. Seventh grade competition starts early. So this is Tamika's mad rant. This is why I don't understand when people sit up here on the internet and they talk about not competing. I was in school. We competed. In high school, we competed. You competed in chess, you competed in gym, you competed in tennis, you competed in band. You competed for trumpet chairs in band, you competed for first chair, second chair, third chair, clarinets competed, flautists competed, drum majors competed. You competed. I don't understand when people are on here talking about they don't compete. You do. You compete every single day. You competed for that chair because you know you put in the time, you put in the practice, you put in the effort to get that first trumpet chair. You put in time and practice. You competed. When you go on this job interview, you don't think you competing? You competing. You compete every single time. I don't understand why y'all be out here like, oh my goodness, the modern women and the modern women and the modern men are competing. You compete. It's just what it is. You compete. You even compete when you go get your hair done. Because if this one hairdresser over here can't do your hair, you go over here to the other one that can do your hair. You compete. That's just what you do, right? You compete. So I don't know what people are talking about. But now You see, they're starting, even really seventh grade is too late because they're already filling out the college application, right? This is foreshadowing of the future. Tech and automation, the new face of the workforce, is it's high value skills. But it's not just high value skills, it's networking. Because the people who got the high value skills are going to be, could be just potentially workers. But the people who understand how those workers and where the gaps are at, and own the businesses where those high skilled workers work at, really make the money, right? So we got to understand what the cost is to be in the room. What is the cost to be in the room? What room should you be in? What type of access are you looking for? Sure, you said you was rejected when you applied to Columbia Sister School Boards. It was accepted by two others. Get in. How you feeling? Competition and access is the reason why I'm trying to get into Duke. Yes, access. It's not just the. It's just not being in the. It's just not doing the work at the school. It's the network that the school has. Let me put it this way. Let's look at it from this angle. Let's look at it from this angle. Let's look at it from this angle. Let's talk about it. So, do you think that Deion Sanders has a network? Do you think Deion Sanders has a network? Okay, he got a network. We know that. You don't even have to pretend like you don't know the answer to that. You know he does. Okay, in that network, who do you think he has access to that now those kids want to have access to that network, right? Not only does he have access to that network and he's bringing in his access to that network, but his kids get access to a network as well that is in the Denver, Colorado area. So they get a chance to create a network as well too. Their own network outside of their dad, right? You don't think people are gonna send their kids out to play at to play for an NFL coach? Yep. Now let's back up. He was at JSU. You don't think there's a network there where he could go? Let me go pull them. Let me go get them. Let me go get them. Let me go get that one over there. Dion is creating a specialized tier network that I guess that is outcome for the kids. Yeah. But not only is he creating the network and the access, he getting access to different stuff as well too. He getting a chance to see different stuff as well too. And I know it because I watched the show. I watch what he get access to. I know exactly where those places are at. I know where Longmont is at. I know what's out there in Longmont. I know what's out there in Broomfield. I know what's over there in Cherry Tree. I know what he get access to when he going to Vale, when he's going to Billion Dollar Row in Cherry Tree, when he going to Vale and he going to see Billion Dollar Row in Vale, when he's going over to Aspen and he getting that. Oh, you okay? Private meetings with the donors, and they doing the farm. He going around the other cities and having speaking conferences. He on the landing strip with the private jet from whatever the case may be. Whoever loaned the school the private jet for him, the private airport that's down the street. Access. People were willing to pay for access. People are willing to make the sacrifice. What sacrifice are you going to make? What sacrifice do you want to make? What sacrifice are you going to have in your life? What network are you trying to get into? What network do you need to be in? There are training camps. There. Speaking of baseball, there are baseball training camps all throughout Florida. The Yankees, the Braves, they all train. You can go see them. You can go meet and greet them. You can go see them walking around the city. Access. Get in the game. Stop being on the sidelines. You see what's happening in these streets. Then Disney just lay off. Microsoft, everybody lays off. Access. You got to get in the rooms. You got to be in the rooms. Go pop up. Go pop up at a expensive cigar lounge. Go join a group. Go find a traveling group. Go do something. Go do something different. Access. 750,000. The college is 90,000 a year. They're gonna spend 4 or 5 years. They're gonna pay more. They paying more for access because they know the greater good of the outcome of that network. They're gonna make that money back. They're gonna get that money back. They ain't worried about this 750. They gonna get that back. Access. All right. So you got to figure out what access you're willing to make the sacrifice for. Not just in tech, but just in life in general. What rooms you want to be in? What does that look like? Access, right? Let's get back to it. The sense of exclusivity only makes the students and parents want more. The Varsity Blues scandal demonstrated the extreme lengths some wealthy families will go to get their kids into the best schools. Eric Sherman, a counselor of college counseling firm Ivywise, compares the veneration of the name brand colleges to a Hermes bag. You hit a certain point where quality is legitimately increased, and then everything above that is just brand," said Sherman, who's also director of college counseling at I've never heard of Kahila Jewish School in Palo Alto. You heard of that, Dion? All right. I think there is a really powerful element where parents, if they're at a cocktail party, they might want to say, "Oh, I drive a Maserati and my daughter goes to Penn," right? But then again, this is what the whole debutante Greek fraternities, um, Masons, all of these different things, right? And sororities, Greek sororities, create those lanes of networking and access, right? But here's the other thing too about access. It comes with a cost, but it also can come on the backside of that, and you get some backstabbers. So you got to know how to network, and you got to know how to see the snakes. It's okay. Snake, listen, you need snakes. Snakes do what they supposed to do. Snake. Snakes do what they supposed to do. They snake. So when you recognize a snake, let that snake. You just need to know that that's a snake. Let that snake. You know that snake gonna play in a certain area. You know how that snake move. You see that snake. You know how that snake move, right? Snakes be snaking. But you got to recognize that that's a snake. Now, how do you do that? How do you recognize that's a snake? How do you do that? So I tell y'all, when y'all enter in rooms, you need to sit back and watch people, how they talk, how they move, who they talk to, what shoes they wear, what drinks they drink, who their favorite bartender, what's their favorite drink, how they cut their hair, who they go to cut their hair, how they get their hair done, who they go to get their hair done, their favorite color. You need to know everything about the person that you sitting in rooms with. Access, travel, where they been, who they network with when they travel, who they travel with. You don't know that about people. When you sitting in the rooms, you gotta pick. You gotta listen to the context clues. They'll tell you FBI all day, CIA, DEA, NSA all day. You better know it, cause guess what? Just cause you don't do it, they doing it on you. They doing recon on you. Every picture you take, remember when you take a picture with someone, they can look you up by your picture. They can do a reverse lookup, find out what they need to find out about you. Cable man too. Yep. Just long as you know how the snake move and where the snake is at, you good. The fable of a scorpion who sting the person who carries it over the bridge after it promises not to do so. Exactly. Right? Not only are people paying for being exclusive and putting them in, because what happens is their children meet up and they may not date, but they may be on the same debate team, and the mothers and the fathers may be there to support. And guess what? The mothers and the fathers or the parents start doing business with each other because because now they networking with the other ones that's there. Oh yeah, such and such does owns some olive oil farm. Yeah, he makes olive oil. And this one over here does fine arts. And this one over here, this is a car collector. Oh, you was looking for such and such? Yeah, I'm trying to restore my car. Oh man, you doing that yourself? Yeah, I'm doing a little work and then I just want to send it off. Oh, what is it? And boom, now you're talking. Listen, do yourself a favor. Dee asked y'all this before. I think she asked you on this show. I know she asked in the meetup. What car do you want to drive? And go test drive that car. Go learn to hang out at the car dealerships to see who come in, what they looking at, chop it up, become friends. Why? Access. Access. What do you mean? When you drive certain cars, when you're in certain areas and you pulling up, this is a true story. I went to go look at a lot right around the corner from my house. I pull up, the guy got his Carrera sitting out there. I pull up in my Carrera 4S blacked out. He looking at me, I'm looking at him. Immediately he was like, yep. So listen, this is why we're gonna have to put this offer together to get this land. And this, I got some other property over here to da 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 da. Let me know da 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 da. D was with me, she'll tell you. He was chumming. He was like, yeah, can I take a look inside? I love it. I love it. Like, yeah, my yours nicer than mine. He was like, oh yeah, ooh, I eat. Would you, yeah, are you part of this Porsche club? We meet up over here. We do this. We do that. Oh, access. Access. Talking to different financial planners. Hey, I'm going to go do X, Y, and Z. Oh, are you? Yeah, I'm getting ready to do a presentation out in Apollo Beach. We're meeting up with some of the major league baseball players and stuff like that. I would love to invite you over here. We're meeting at the cigar lounge. I want you to meet some of the people that I've been working with. You all are got kindred spirits. There some of them are in tech as well too, are interested in getting in tech. And I consider you a good, reliable resource. Would you mind talking to them about some tech investments, or would you mind talking to them? Sure, why not? Access. Access. You know what I'm gonna drive if I go over. You know what I'm gonna ride in. You already know it. Why? Because it's a conversation piece. It's something to get somebody talking. Because people want to know. Because people are nosy. What you do to get that. How you get that. What I need to do so I can get that. Oh, you live in that zip code. How'd you get in that? That's just what people do. It's just what people do. Right? So in here it says there's also a return on investment to consider for those willing to cover an elite college absorbent cost, according to Georgetown Center for Education and Workforce. Four-year private schools offer the highest ROI based on the average debt taken on and the median salaries 10 to 40 years after enrollment. So private nonprofit schools tend to have higher return on investment. MIT, private, non for profit, median debt, median 10-year earnings is 111,000, but the 10-year net positive value is 406,000, right? And so forth. And they show you the schools that are returning the most, right? So yeah, everybody want to get in MIT. Network, access, intellectual property, right? Tuition and the cost of attendance is not just going up at Ivy League and competitive schools, it's going up everywhere, right? If Rolls Royce and a Toyota are the same exact price, which one would you want? For the Choi family, the answer is the Rolls Royce. Choi's son has already been accepted to Yale, Columbia, and the University of Chicago, and is still waiting to hear from his dream school, Stanford. Like many families living in New York City's Upper East Side, the Choi's have paid hundreds of thousands already to put him through private school since kindergarten. We are fortunate that price is no object. The prestige carries a lot of weight, and we want him to attend the best college, for his future. To supplement his schooling, they have been working with Command Education since he was in the ninth grade, considering a worthwhile investment in his future. The consulting firm charges as much as $750,000 to work with students starting in the seventh grade, and as much as 500,000 starting in the ninth grade. Altogether, RIM estimate many of his clients would spend over $1 million to prepare their kids for college. I'm going to repeat this whole paragraph again. To supplement his schooling, they have been working with Command Education. Go look up Command Education. Go look up how Command Education was formed. Go look up what they do. Go look up who started it. Go look up who their clients are. Go look up what they got. What is their curriculum? What they put together. Who they link up with. Start your own. All right. They've been working with Command Education since he was in the ninth grade, considering a worthwhile investment in his future. The consulting firm charges as much as $750,000 to work with students starting in the seventh grade, and as much as $500,000 per student starting in the ninth grade, right? Altogether, Ram estimates many of his clients would spend over $1 million. What you want to be? Worker, owner. What you want to be? You want to own something or you want to be owned? What are you willing to do for access for a better life? What are you willing to do to access for a better life for your children? What do you want to do for a better life and access for your family? And it just doesn't have to be your mama and your daddy. It could be your cousins, it could be your nephews, it could be your nieces. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice? How much time are you willing to put in? What are you gonna do? And if don't nobody want to come with you in your family, you do it by yourself. Fuck them. Sit. Just because they want to sit on the sideline and play foosball, like the boy used to say I'm playing foosball. If they want to be on the sideline and let them be by themselves. But you don't have to go. You can go. Find you a new one. Find you a new circle. Find you a new set of friends or family. Don't sit on the sideline when you got the opportunity to make a change. Here's the one thing I know about people. When they see you get there, then they be like, now what did they do again? Oh, maybe they can help me out. They did it, right? Leave them. You can't, we don't have time. We don't have time to play games. We don't have time to play games. I'm reading to you, literally reading to you. And this been going on for decades, mind you. Somebody's willing to pay $750,000 to make sure that their child in the seventh grade gets accepted to an Ivy League school. We wait till we get to the 10th, 11th, 12th grade to start applying. Then we hope we get a scholarship, and we hope we get a Hope Scholarship if we in Georgia, or we get state funded. And don't get me wrong, ain't nothing wrong with these choices. I'm just saying we got to start a little earlier. I'm saying we got to be in rooms. We got to network, right? No client is paying us fees to get into a random school. Affordability was cited the least as the top deciding factor for college. They wanted best fit overall, best career interest, best academic reputation, and then affordable, most affordable. Throwing darts. To be sure, the decision by many schools to no longer require standardized tests has caused application numbers to balloon. This has artificially deflated universities' acceptance rates by boat loading the application pool. These schools every year get better and better at getting students to apply. Brian Taylor, the managing partner of Ivy Coach, a private college counseling firm. Look up Ivy Coach. Look up Ivy Coach. Go look them up. Right. The guy name is Brian Taylor. A private college counseling firm. As an extreme example, more C students applying to Harvard does not make Harvard applicant pool more competitive. New York University received a record breaking 120,000 applications for the class of 2027, 13% more than last year. Next fall's freshman year will be around 5,700 students, bringing their admission rate down to 8%, a steep drop from 35% a decade ago. The trend is hard on the many students who don't get accepted. Addison Kentucky found out Thursday she didn't get into Harvard or Brown, and is planning to go to the University of Kentucky in her home state instead. Okay, Her mother Sarah said Addison was disappointed, but also relieved. She'd have to take out significantly less debt. The school cost $33,000 total for in-state students versus nearly 85,000 a year for Brown. Even that's still so much money. The fact that the state school costs this much is mind blowing. For those who don't get in, aid is often an essential part of the equation because the elite schools with $1 billion endowments and robust financial resources are able to help students lower the financial cost of attendance. It's sometimes more affordable to attend a private college than it is a public one, says college consultants. The gap between graduates with federal student loans is relatively small. In 2021, bachelor's degrees recipients from four-year state colleges had an average federal debt of 21,000 compared to 22,000 from a private university. When Preeti Singh's daughter was applying to college this year, she recalls telling her, "If you're going to go to an out-of-state college, then it has to be something really, really good. I'm not sending you out there for nothing," is what she said. Get your shit together. That's what she said. That's my interpretation. She said, because I'm not sending you to neighboring state just for you wanting to go to be away from home. For the Ohio family who have a second child who will also be applying to college in a couple of years, price has top of mind. Her daughter applied to both state colleges and more selective schools. She was accepted to Stanford in December, and they decided it's worth paying $65,000 a year for a computer science degree over $15,000 a year at Ohio State University. And you want to argue on this internet about 47,000? She pays 65,000 a year to send this child to school so she can get a degree in computer science, right? Singh said after looking at the aid her daughter received, the cost is manageable for an elite education, right? Access. What are you going to pay? Look this up. I looked this up before and I did a show on this. Colleges that produce the most millionaires. 35% of the US residents worth more than 100 million went to the top 8 universities: Harvard, MIT, Stanford, University of Pennsylvania, Columbia University, Yale, Cornell, and Princeton, right? Colleges that produce the most millionaires. I did this earlier this year. I did it back in February. Let's see if the same list applies. Princeton, and they tell you who went there: Cornell, Yale, Columbia, UPenn, Stanford, MIT, Harvard. What room are you gonna be in? Where you sitting at during lunch? Ohio State got a good one, but Ohio State is producing football players compared to what they producing at Stanford. Produce football players too. Let's not get it twisted. But people want access to the network. Ohio State got a good network, but people want access to the network. UGA, Tech, Georgia Tech, right? You're not gonna send your child to school if they top tier to a school in like West Georgia or Savannah if they can go to Georgia Tech. You're just not gonna do that. Just not gonna do that. Just the facts. It's just what it is. All right. I know y'all saw this article. We're gonna talk about it a little bit because we're still talking about access. Jay Z is now worth $2.5 billion, and Warren Buffett once said he's the guy to learn from. So here's the question: which one would you take? I'm just gonna see what you say. I'm gonna give you two choices like they do on the thing, right? On the videos, right? I'm gonna give you two choices. You got two choices. You gotta pick one. A, you can have you can have dinner with Warren Buffett, or you get to spend a weekend with Jay-Z. A, you can have dinner with Warren Buffett, or you get to spend a weekend with Jay-Z. Which one would you take? A or B? A, Warren Buffett, just a dinner. B is a weekend with Jay-Z. We got some A's. After sale weekend. And it ain't no money. Peter Investor, you say Buffett. You going with A? Hmm. Which one would I pick? A or B? For some people, it's a no-brainer. For some people, it's a no-brainer. So let's weigh the options. A, you get a dinner with Buffett. So you need a game plan. What are y'all gonna discuss? Dinner may be an hour, 2 hours. I'll give you 2 hours. Time to chop it up. Dinner with Buffett, 2 hours. What y'all gonna talk about for 2 hours? What are you gonna ask him? You get a weekend with Jay-Z, you get 2 hours with Buffett. Okay, you say you need a few good steps while we discuss life at dinner. What y'all gonna talk about though? What you gonna talk about though? You said who would give me actual money info? I don't know. I'm not sure what that means. All right. But you already know his financial history, done. That's public information. He already did that. You just wasted 2 hours. You just wasted 2 hours. You gotta be strategic, right? So less than 4 years after becoming the first billionaire, Jay-Z showing no signs of slowing down. The Brooklyn-born artist net worth is now 2.5 billion, according to the latest estimate from Forbes. Jay-Z became rap's first billionaire back in 2019, which stakes in Armand. Is that Bernac? Is that how you say it? Bernac, Champagne, and Douce Cognac valued at 400 million at the time, as well as various investment properties in New York. So let's look at this. When did Jay Z start rapping? He started rapping before '94. They say '94. I'm gonna say he probably started 2 years with what, Unreasonable Doubt, right? I'm giving him 93, 94. I give him 93. What you think? Before that, what you think, D? Yeah, yeah, yeah. The stop and set up plays. Yeah, yeah. I don't know about that. If you're interested in running a business, ask Buffett for stock advice and what he sees on the horizon of the market. If you have a business and want to figure out growth and marketing, then Jay Z. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Are we looking anemic on likes? Get the likes up. Share the content. So this how I look at it, right? This how I break it down. I would choose I would choose Jay Z. I think I got enough information out there about Warren Buffett. And I think I can go scrounge that up. I think there's enough people that study him. What's going on, Rain? I think enough people study him. I think we know how that works. But to have a billionaire in the making right before your eyes, I think out, yeah, 1989. I was like with Jazzo, I was like 94, like it was already out by then. What are you talking about? Um, I would go with Jay Z. Just me. I get it. But I would go with Jay Z. Not because I think, oh my God, Jay Z so wonderful. Oh my God, you're so wonderful. You're so lovely. Oh my God. No, not because of that. It's just I would want to ask questions about networking in rooms. And we already know that Buffett looks at P&Ls, right? We already know he's reading the P&L on that, right? So we got that. We got an idea of what he's looking at. You know his start. You kind of know Jay Z start, but you really don't know on the business acumen side who his peoples are. I want to know who his peoples are, who he talked to, who he got in his corner. That's who I want to know, right? Like you know who backs LeBron James. You know who out there moving and grooving with LeBron. Jay Z got a team. I need to meet that team. I want to know how he met that team. Right, right. So let's get it. His wealth has ballooned in recent years, thanks in part to the growth of his entertainment company, Rock Nation, the sale of the streaming service, Tidal or Tidal, as well as numerous investments in companies, including Uber. Forbes pegged his net worth at 1.4 billion last year. Even a year without a tour or album release, Jay Z mints millions from his champagne, his Douce cognac, right? His fortune is, and like he said, listen, the blueprints are already out there. We just gotta go along and tweak those blueprints for yourselves, right? You gotta tweak them for yourselves. We don't have to recreate, the wheel. We just gotta tweak some blueprints for our lives, for ourselves, right? And this goes back to that whole talk about access, because once his lane started switching, he started switching lanes and he opened up access. And you can see them opening. Even you can even look at, let's really talk about it. We want to talk about it. Let's put the man on out there. Let's talk about Method Man. Let's talk about how his access has changed. Let's talk about how he has changed. He even talked about it on the show. I forget the barbershop show that he was on, where he was talking about, when it was time, when he decided to stop doing drugs, stop drinking. He was like, oh no, I'm over that, right? Changing up that access, changing up his life, changing up what he was doing, where he was at, right? Like And you all can listen to these people out here all you want to. Method Man married. You may not like Jay-Z and Beyonce, but they married, they together. They doing their thing. O'Shea married. Yeah. O'Shea married, right? You just got to look at it for what it is. You got to look at, as much as y'all don't, people don't like Snoop Dogg, they still together. I'm sticking beside him. We still here, right? And all I'm simply saying is this. All I'm simply saying is this. Look at the lanes and things that they've traveled in. Who and what that in those lanes open up access to them. He eating, he working out. They got the locks. They got their juice bar. You know the whole thing. Much as people don't like Angela Yee, she got her own lane. She business savvy. People don't like her. They talk about her, whatever the case may be. You can talk about her all you want to, but that's not going to stop her access. That's not going to stop her lane change. That's not going to stop her money. She got her and I forget her first name, Tisdale. I forget her first name. They got their financial podcast. Then they have their financial app that they got. They got investments into this and real estate and so forth and so on. Access, being in different lanes, going in different lanes. Do your research, do your study. I got a treat for y'all today. I got that work for you today. I got the blue magic for you today. I do. Right after this one, I'm gonna pull it up. I was gonna talk about some other stuff. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna pull up this video because it's in relation to what we've been talking about, and now we're gonna get to really get into some stuff. Right? Right? Yeah, the Breakfast Club is syndicated in 90 markets now. We can even start looking at Ricky Smiley. You can look and break down how he was moving, who he was moving with. He talked about it. He talked about it on his show about who gave him the opportunity, how they networked, what he had to do, the blueprint. Of course, he followed Steve Harvey. Of course, he networked with Steve Harvey. Same well with DL Hughley. All of them. Of course, they fight. That's human. I might not like you for 10 years, but I see you. I forgive you. You forgive me. Let's get this money. It's too much out here, right? You got Faison Love talking about Country Wayne. Talking about what residual he got, and he up there, his neck looked like his ears. What you talking about? Faison Love out here making all that money, but guess what? Country Wayne just did it better. He got his skits. He got skit after skit after skit, storyline after storyline, storyline after storyline. Yeah, that man make his money a month. I think what is it 3 million a month? Is that what Country Wayne making on YouTube? 3 million a month? Let me look it up again. I think it's 3 million. So he's 6 million is aimed. That's not right. He was making more than that. Yeah, right here. 300,000. It was 300,000 a month. He made 300,000 a month on YouTube. 300,000 a month. I'm just trying to get you to get to 200,000 to be an accredited investor. He making 300,000 a month. What's your niche? Who are you? What's your brand? What are you good at? What do you can do good? Make money off of your own skills. Your skill sets are income producing assets. Your skill sets are income producing assets. Listen, let me put it this way. You so scared to make money off of you that other people make money off of you. You so scared to make money off of you You're willing to have other people make money off of you, right? Put that in perspective. Make money off of yourself. I'm gonna do a show on this Friday. I talked about it last night. Some of you financially abuse your own self. Some of you financially abuse your own self. Now, I'm gonna dive into that on Friday, right? You are willing to let other people make money off of you, but you won't even make money off yourself. You will work hard for others, but you won't even work hard for yourself. Put that in perspective. What are you good at? What are you willing? What do you know? What rooms are you going to get in with the skill sets that you have? If you don't have any skill sets, get some skill sets. What are you willing to pay for to get those skill sets? By going to this X, Y, and Z boot camp, what is that boot camp going to allow you to have access to? When you go to that mastermind, what does it allow you to have access to? Who do you network with? Who do you work out with? Who do you talk to? What do you spend your time doing? What do you love? What do you like? What do you hate? What do you, whatever? What are you going to do? If they getting their kids ready by the seventh grade, you need to be getting your kids ready by the chromosomes. You need to be getting your kids ready by the chromosomes. It matters who you mate with, basically. It matters. It matters who you mate with. It matters what you read. It matters what you're consuming. It matters. You need to be getting ready by chromosomes. Just the facts. It matters. It matters if you can't read and write. It matters. 54% of America can't read and write. Let's put it in this perspective. 54% of Americans can't read and write. Gen X is going to take care of the baby boomers. Who's going to take care of Gen X? The Gen Zs? Put that in perspective. Who's going to take care of you when you get older? Who's going to be your nurse? Who's going to pull your blood? Who's going to fix your teeth? Who's going to give you back massages? It matters. Get your shit together. It matters. So when I sit up here and I'm telling you stuff, I'm not telling you for my health. I'm not telling you to embarrass you. That's not what I'm doing. I'm here so you can understand this is what's going on out there. Here's where we're at. Here's where we need to be. And how in the hell can we move this along quicker? I don't need two people going, even though I take them. But I really want 10 to go. I like 100, but I'll take them. But you are willing to go out here every single day and you will go work for someone else and you won't work hard for yourself. Oh, I'm totally guilty of this. Totally guilty of this. I did it to myself before. I talked about it. Yeah, I talked about it Friday. We do it all the time. We get up, we do our thing, we go to work, we get home, we're like, whew, I worked hard and it's been a long day. We get us something to eat. And then we go to sleep and we do the cycle over and over again. 10 years go by, 20 years go by. You got three or 400, 500, maybe something in retirement, maybe a little something, something. Thank you, Peter Investor, for the super chat. I think it's a super sticker. Thank you so much. Don, what's going on? Because D put us on the spot. I appreciate you for your super chat. I appreciate you. I really do. But I put things on your mind and try to make sure I bring people so y'all can get in rooms. I can't be in every room, but you can. It's better if I can't go to something, you can go to something. When you go, make sure you put everybody else back on. Look, I learned this, we did that. Thank you. Due diligence down payment. I ain't mad at you. I actually looked at one of your videos the other day, Savage Scientist. I was looking at your videos. I was looking at your channel. I was looking at some programming stuff. I'll be getting in touch with you. I want y'all to understand that this is not a game, right? That conference that you don't feel like attending or you don't know how you're going to attend it, ask somebody. Look around. Hey, does anybody have any scholarships? Are they going to have a virtual piece? Is anybody going? Can you attend this for me? Can you go to this talk for me and let me know what they're talking about? Where the slides at? Who talking? Can I reach out to them? Hey, anybody going that want to go? I can't go, but at least I can send somebody in that city to it. They got a conference in your area. I need somebody to go to that conference. Let me go ahead and pay for your conference ticket for you to go to that conference. I want you to attend. These are two things I want you to attend. I want you to get that information and bring it back to the group. You go do what your thing you need to do, but I need for you to go network there. I need for your face to be there. I need for you to be there. I need for you to go network with them people. Go to the dinner. I need for you to get all the swag. I need for you to attend all the booths. I need for you to do everything. But I need for you to go. And you can say that to people, and people be like, I ain't got time. Oh, okay. So you mean you ain't got time for yourself. Okay, I got you. So you ain't have time for yourself. I got you. I got it. Right? I got it. I got it. All right. So in a 2010 sit down with legendary investor Warren Buffett nearly a decade before becoming a billionaire, Jay-Z compared his approach to his music career with the Oracle of Omaha strategy of investing only in business he understands rather than what is most popular. Music is like stocks. There's the hot thing at the moment. People tend to make emotional decisions based on that. They don't stick with what they know. The now 53-year-old approached his career with the goal of making money and bucked against the common sentiment in the 90s that musicians should aspire to be rich. That was the greatest trick in the music that people ever pulled off to convince artists that you can't be an artist and make money, he said. Hip hop from the beginning was always been aspirational. It's always broke that the notion that an artist can't think about money as well. At the end of their conversation, Buffett said that soon enough, young people would be looking at Jay Z for their money making advice. Jay Z is teaching in a lot bigger classroom than I'll ever teach. Buffett, for a young person growing up, he's the guy to learn from. Oh, I remember that one. When I looked at this, I ain't gonna lie. The first time when I saw this video, I like look at Tyler Perry, but that's what I said. Come on here, Brown. Yep, yep. For sure, thanks. I will be returning producing normal content. I just moved to DevSecOps role. Congratulations, congratulations. And you got time. All right, I'm gonna challenge you on that. Antoine, I'm gonna challenge you on that. You say you got time. I'm gonna challenge you on that. Highlight Antoine on Dion. You say you got time. We're gonna challenge you on that. What city you in? Oh, even better. What you doing today? Where you at? What you doing today and where you at? I got time. I got time today. Perfect. I gotta come over there anyway. Look, what time? What time we meeting? What time we meeting for dinner? Tell me where we meeting at. I'm pulling up. You let me know. I'm pulling up. All right, today. If not today, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, Wednesday. You let me know. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You let me know. I got time. I'm pulling up. We're gonna go to some meetups. Even better. Even better. Even better. I hope you got some flashcards. I got time. You're in the perfect. You're in a perfect spot. You looking for work? I got some work for you. I told you I got blue magic. I'm blue magic. I got that work for you. All right. So this video is not a petty tea video. I'm not gonna have time to finish all this video, but I wanted to bring this video up. D gonna like this video. Marco gonna like this video. But we need to, yep. We can meet up. Let me bring this up. It's a reason why I'm bringing this up. I got so much other content that I want to share, but I really want to get to this video. Um, oh, before we get to this video, let me pull this lady up, and I need for y'all to go follow her on LinkedIn, and I need for y'all to go look her up. Okay, follow on LinkedIn and go look her up. All right. Um, Leaps of Faith led Courtney Jackson to become one of Tampa Bay's cyber CEOs. All right. Her name is Courtney Jackson. Most of Courtney Jackson's major life decisions have come from taking leaps of faith. She was 18 when she was recruited for the military, which ultimately led to her joining the Navy and living in Italy. In her postgraduate years, she discovered cybersecurity and began working on that as a side gig, doing consulting, taking a leap of faith. Taking a leap of faith. I'm betting on me. Drop me's in the chat. Me, put me in the chat. Better yet, put I'm bet. No, just put me. Just put me in the chat. Just put me in the chat. I need to see who betting on themselves. Bet on yourselves. Put me in the chat. I need to see if y'all betting on yourselves. Are you afraid? Are you afraid that nobody would accept your skill set? Then that means you're not confident in your skill set, and that means you need to study. That means you need to study. Something going on. Something going on. You need to study. If you ain't betting on you, if you ain't betting on you by the time you get done today, then you need to go study. Bet on yourself. Here's one caveat that you do know. This is petty T. You can read and write. You can read and write. All right? You can read and write. Right? Bet on yourself. What does that look like? Betting on yourself. Betting on yourself means you're taking the leap of faith in yourself. You are strong enough and confident enough inside of your skill sets and who you are. Don't let nobody sway your skill sets. Don't let nobody sway your thought process. Don't let nobody sway and tell you you ain't got it. Don't you ain't got the answer sway. You were like, I may not have the answers today, but I know how to get the answers. I'll be back tomorrow. Right? Make sure you bet on you. Every time you get up and go to work, you driving, somebody betting on you, but you ain't betting on you. What are you learning at that job? What are you learning when you get up and go to work? What are you learning? What are you learning when you come home? Are you sharing your knowledge? Are you teaching others? Right? You ain't got to teach 15 people. You can find one person, write it down in a journal, what you do every day, what you did, what you didn't do, right? Bet on yourself, right? So she betted on herself. In her postgraduate years, she discovered cybersecurity and began working on the side again, doing consulting and building her own company while working full time. And she leapt 6 years later with founding the of a Tampa-based Paragon Cyber Solutions. The company was launched in December 2019 and has grown to a dozen employees with plans to double by the end of next year. It focused on the military sector where they have racked up multi-million dollar contracts with MacDill Air Force Base and Fort Bragg. Jackson hopes her next stage of life comes with a little less risk taking as she settles into success of her company. TBJ, Tampa Business Journal, sat down with Jackson to discuss the rise and the importance of cybersecurity. And here's an interview with her, and they go through when she moved to Tampa and why, right? You're good. You're in good company with cybersecurity. No, before was purchased under what's his name? Oh God, Vista Equity. What's his name? I just forgot. But anyway, they went and purchased them for 4.6 billion. There's RealQuest that hit $1 billion valuation a few years ago. Do you think it's helpful to have a cluster of companies in the same industry? Why not? Shit, there's a cluster of companies in California in the same industry in San Francisco and Palo Alto. Why not? That was a dumb question. Just me, right? Beyond the military sector, you're in the compliance space. Do people understand the importance of compliance with cybersecurity measures, especially since many workforces have moved to at least a hybrid work setup, right? What happened to stumble across cybersecurity when we were working in operations? And do you think there are better efforts being made to teach children about STEM career? Yes, I'm the vice president of Women in Defense in Tampa. We have a whole STEM scholarship. We actually gave some money to a couple of different schools that are solely STEM focused, and it's really cool to see it integrated in schools, even elementary schools. They're started so young, but it's really cool to see. And then they go into what else has been done. I spent some more time with her, going over her stuff on another show. I got a Sundays, Cyber Sundays. This is a whole show I got. So Security Sundays. I'll go over her a little bit more. Robert Smith, correct? I know it was Smith. But I can't remember his first name. All right. So this is what the show I wanted. Part of the show that I wanted to talk about. Um, Let me pull that up. Oh, I know where it's at. It's at the top of my page on my notes. Let me open up my other joint. Is this the right one? No, here it is right here. We gonna really I'm not gonna have a lot of time to break this one down. Um, but I wanted to mention it. And I'll probably break it down a little bit later on this evening. I'll probably spend some after hours. If y'all ain't been joining after hours with Tam, I don't know what else to tell you. We had after hours with Tam, where we break down different financial journeys, couples. We talked about the Department of Energy and their initiative. We talked about farming. We talked about just a slew of things after hours. Um, nothing crazy, but we talk. And we talk about helping each other and how we can lend each other a hand, right? You don't know who in the group. This gives you a chance to know who in the group. We didn't do it on YouTube. We do it after hours. I posted it in the community channel, right? Posted in community channel, right? So this right here is this guy. We looked at Bo the other week when he was interviewing the guy with the not multi-family, but with the assisted living. Today we got a different one, co-living and multi-family conversions. But the guy who is being interviewed has a YouTube channel as well. But guess what he graduated from? He graduated from one of them top schools, came out of Columbia, right? And when you get to listening to him talk and you think about the article we just went over, you start putting the pieces together. You start putting the pieces together, right? So I'm gonna get started with this. I think it's in the first 5 minutes. I'm gonna do a deeper dive on this later on this evening. That's gonna be my deep dive. If I don't meet up with my folks here in Colorado, but do a deep dive and on this because there are a lot of things I want to pull out of this or what have you. Let me double check my likes. Let me see, make sure we got our likes up. Let me double check my likes. All right, we on. Nah, we still low on likes. It's 46 people here. We got 33 likes. Let's get the likes up. Share this content with somebody. Send it to your neighbor. Whatever the case may be. All right. So let's get into this. I'm gonna make it bigger here. I am going to turn my sound up here. Right. And let's get into it. And unmute. And turn the sound up on this one. And let's go.
Welcome back to another episode. We've got a great show. We're going to talk 24/7 cash flow. Today's discussion is all about escaping your 9 to 5. That's what everybody wants to do. Everybody always talks about escaping their 9 to 5. So we're going to talk about some practical tips to escape your 9 to 5. We've got Brian based in New York, and he is, at least was a certified financial planner at some point. I'm seeing he's a CFP on his LinkedIn profile. So yeah, probably was working corporate world. Probably good with numbers and just said, hey, there's a better way to do this, and got into the real estate game. So welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
All right, his name is Brian Grimes. You can go look him up on YouTube. He has a channel. I posted on the community channel on YouTube when I set up the private sessions, I put them up there. Um, for us to chat. And then I also post them in the general in Slack, and people get the notifications. If you join, you join. If you don't, you don't. Right. But I ain't gonna spend too long on this one. But I did want to get it in though. I have this one that I want to go over, and I also got another financial review that I was watching that I wanted to go over. I got a whole bunch of financial stuff that I need to go over as well too. But let's get to it.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So when was the transition from the corporate world? What's your background anyways? Can you kind of give us a little bit of insight about you, who you are, and then kind of dive into what kind of popped out about real estate and how you got into it?
Yeah, I mean, at heart, I'm a Philly basketball, kid. Grew up in the Allen Iverson era. Grew to be about 6'4", 6'5" by like 13, 14. Became nationally recruited. First game, they flew us out to Akron, Ohio to play LeBron James and his team in a sold-out crowd. So basketball kind of took me all over the place, landed me at Columbia University. And that was where I think my transformation happened. I just met some very interesting mentors, interesting people there.
I bet you he did. He met some interesting people there, right? One of the top schools to produce multi-millionaires, right? Multi-millionaires. So he got access to a network. Good thing he grew to about 6'4", 6'5", was able to travel, and he was actually good at basketball. Some of y'all be 6'4", 6'5", and can't dribble. So some of y'all be 6'4", 6'5", can't dribble. We know that. I know some of them, so it's all good though. It's all good though.
Former athletes and were making, more money with their head than athletes were making with their body. And that kind of transformed, the way that I thought. So I got out of college, got into financial planning, did the mom and pop kind of insurance planning and sales, working 100% commission. And that made me like just really tough, cold calling, and just like, I got super into that. I took a job up in New York at a high net worth boutique firm where we were managing 1.4 billion for about 300 families. So did that high net worth advisory, got the CFP, worked at a startup. And the entire time I was saving all my money and just putting it into real estate, using those pay yourself first principles, save 10% of your income, put it into real estate. And I just got hooked on it. I got bit by that real estate buy and hold bug and just left the startup and jumped.
All right, so let's talk about his journey real quick. All right, high school, graduated, played basketball, went to Columbia, got into a different mentors and networks. Left Columbia, started doing like the mom and pop situation, then moved over into like working. Sounds like a family office. He was working for a family office. Got a CFP. Learned more and more. Probably learned about some game about the real estate. Understood somebody had already told him what foundation he needed to have. Putting his money away, 10% over here, putting something over here, and then putting his income into income producing assets. Again, the study of the game, the study of numbers, right? So now we got some idea of of a foundation, and let's see what he does with that foundation and where he builds out from having that foundation, right? So now let's get to it.
Time into my own, real estate development company.
That's awesome. And so talk us through like your first couple deals. Like, how has your strategy changed from when you started to today? Like, what's the difference?
Yeah, I think the difference was most of us start off, we do some type of house hack. So you'll maybe do like a FHA loan, you put down 3.5% on a triplex, you live in one unit, rent out the other two, live there for a year, then you move out, rent the whole building out and build cash flow. So we all start with these strategies where we save money and we park it into deals. And then you quickly realize, well, if I keep doing this, I'm just always going to be broke. Like I'm going to run out of money. No matter how much money you have, if you keep parking it, you will run out. So I started to learn about the BRRRR strategy and full gut renovation and how you could identify properties that have what I call a developer spread. Maybe you can buy it for $50,000, and when you're done renovating it, it's worth $250,000. So there's $200,000 of wiggle room for you to get in, do a renovation, refinance all of your money out, and then have some cash flow, have the tenant paying off that mortgage, that 30-year. So I got into that, and that's when things started to, accelerate to the point where I, ended up doing about 300 full gut renovations on buy and hold rental properties in several states, all out of state, in about a 5 to 7 year period.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. So I live in Las Vegas, and I've been buying. Started buying out of state in Indiana. Then I'm like, I like Pennsylvania. I started buying in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm like, hey, I used to live there when I was a kid, and just started looking at houses and just started buying stuff. So I do find it a little challenging doing out of state, especially because I'm on like 3,000 miles away. I don't want to go look at a $50,000 or $80,000 house that I buy. But I'm kind of interested in strategies that are working well for you. Like how are you maximizing cash flow on these properties?
Yeah, I think you always do these iterations. So I first started off doing like Section 8, affordable housing, voucher based.
Affordable housing. It's awesome. Everyone needs it. Let me tell you, I just don't have the affordable housing bug. I'm not in it for the 30 years, and you can't kick people out. I'm not with it. I don't know. Some people like it. Some people, a lot of cities need it. A lot of states need it. I ain't with that. My G. I ain't with that, my G. You may have to be like old girl washing up at the cemetery. I ain't with it. I ain't with it, my G. I can't do it. Too long. D, you with it? Too long.
And when you're doing that, you start to think about the system and how can you get more juice per squeeze, right? So you'll take a 3-bed, 1-bath row home, and you figure, well, Section 8 pays off the voucher system, which pays by the bed. So a 4-bed voucher pays more than a 3. So I started doing these renovations and flipping the kitchen. I started seeing other developers do this, and I was like, well, why are they flipping the kitchen from the back of the house into the dining room and then just having kind of this eat-in kitchen living room? It was more of a modern look, but they were putting another bedroom in the back of the house and now turning a 3-bed into a 4, increasing the cash flow of the property. So I started doing these kitchen flips, and then before you know it, you're thinking completely outside of the box. And that's where co-living kind of transformed to the point where we were just taking a 3-bed, 1-bath and converting it into 3 beds, 3 baths, 3 master suites. The only way to the bathroom is through the bedroom. And then you can rent out each master suite for, let's call it right now, about $795, $800 a month. So you can take a property that would rent for $1,200 a month, and now it's going to rent for $2,300 to $2,400 a month, which is creating an extra $1,000 a month in cash flow per deal. So 10 of those, and the average American is completely out of the 9 to 5 and on their way to doing this full time.
So when you're so you're acquiring most times with either hard money or private money, and then when you're refinancing out, you're probably using it. I'm a finance guy, so I do lending for a living. So you're doing some kind of DSCR type of loan on the takeout. Is that kind of the strategy?
All right, DSCR, the DSCR loan. That's what he was talking about, DSCR. And he on his thing, he talks about a DSCR loan. Debt service coverage ratio is a measure of cash flow available to pay the current debt obligations. DSCR is used to analyze firms, projects, or individual borrowers. The minimum the DSCR that a lender demands depends on the macro economic conditions, right? DSCR, right? DSCR. That's what he's talking about. And then they also have, if you just look up DSCR, they also have how to calculate a debt to service coverage ratio. How do you calculate that? There's a calculator out there for that. So remember that DSCR.
Yeah, we're completely in the non-QM space. It's once you get over 3 or 4 properties, the average person's debt to income ratio is just completely obliterated. So we're dealing with some of the national portfolio lenders that are out there that just focus on this space. I found that they have an insatiable, appetite. They're collateralizing 600 to 800 million of debt every 6 months, packaging it and selling it to the big land trusts. So they just want more business. And what I found was, if you take this strategy and you do it in C-class neighborhoods and in pockets of the country like Baltimore, like Philly, where their book of business is not really built out because everybody's doing it in Jersey, New York, DC, and some of these bigger areas, you now become that diversification bucket for that collateralization. So it's definitely interesting.
So walk me through like a deal today. Prices have gone up in almost every market over the last 5 years or 6 years. It's been a crazy run. Now it's kind of softening a little bit. But there's still that. Now I think there's a tremendous opportunity again because everybody's scared to buy when we know there's a huge demand for rental. I just read an article that these hedge funds are coming back now. They kind of paused. They're coming back. And like there was a prediction in certain markets that they would own 40% of the rental inventory in certain markets. They only own 4 or 5% right now. So that's kind of freaky. I think the government, I think the government will step in and not allow that. I think that they won't allow these big monopolies, but for the little investors out there like us, right, where we want to create 24/7 cash flow, we got to jump in this now because there's never been a better time because everything in life is getting more competitive with technology and everything. So walk me through
all right, I'm gonna do the rest of the night. Right, but I want to pull this up. This is one of the ones I want to go through. It's a podcast. I listened to it already, but this is the one where he did the 300 gut rehabs that he was talking about, and he turned into passive cash flow and affordable housing. And in here, he goes through the that 300 gut, um, what he did, and then what were the co-living regulations versus the Airbnb regulations, and the benefits of co-living. Uh, so I'm gonna talk about that tonight. I'm gonna talk about that tonight. Um, Let me go ahead and put this in my thing. Do do do. This will be my after hours conversation. Well, I'll talk about that tonight. All right. And let me look in here to Tampa. Oh yeah, I want to do this before we go. So on my search last week, we talked about your W-2 incomes and your tax strategies and so forth. Says Aisha, you said, do you need a down payment for this loan? You got to read up on it. We'll talk about it tonight. Right? We'll talk about it tonight. All right. So tax strategies for high income earners for 2023. I also have some loopholes and stuff like that. It says, do you want to reduce your taxes? Of course, if you're in a high tax bracket, you'll be happy to know there are dozens of tax reductions for high income earners. And so let's get in here to see what they say. Let me keep going. All right, the tax basis and the regulations. We know some of this stuff, right? We know about what the tax brackets you fall in for 2022. Here's the 2023 tax brackets. You know, your your 200K, 500K earner right here. You all start to see uh, these 35%, 32%, 37%, right? All right, so let's keep going. They got that. They got that. Are you age over 50 with a million? Okay, Secure Act. Okay. Whatever changes that were there, your annual distributions, the raising of the Roth IRAs and its contributions, Social Security wage based increase from in 2022 to 147,000. Yesterday I talked about 2034. They won't have enough income, Social Security to cover and fully cover every to do full coverage for everybody, so that's in 2034. So those that are retiring now, that may be an issue. Those that haven't retired yet, most definitely may or may not be here, depending on how they what they do with their legislation. Now, the money that you put in now, this is a question I have. If are you going to continue to deduct Social Security out of people's paycheck? Because people can use their money. If you gonna empty the trust fund, then you need to give us our money back. What about all the money you didn't put into it? Run me my money, right? So it said the limits of deducting and increase. Lastly, the last tax deduction is deduction that reduces the taxpayer liability by reducing his adjusted gross income and potentially taxable income. All right. Tax deductions. We talked about tax deductions versus tax credits last week. Tax deductions versus tax credit last week. We talked about that. Again, they got RAs, qualified retirement, charitable distributions. All right. QCD, a qualified charitable distribution is a distribution from an IRA owned by an individual age 70 and a half or over that is paid directly from the IRA to a qualified charity. Right. We talked about that. We talked about donor advised funds. But the other one I want to bring up, along the charitable contributions, is this. This is different than the donor advised funds. This is a charitable remainder trust. So this is another one, right? This is another one that you can set up. If you're on your W two side, you do it on 1099. But on your W two side, if you're looking, so I had to go search to see. I don't want to give all my money to charity. I want to give my money to charity, and then maybe to some people I like that are beneficiaries to my family or something I want to invest in, right? Whatever the case may be, right? Under that trust. All right, so let's pull this out. All right. It says a charitable remainder trust is an irrevocable trust that generates a potential income stream for you as the donor to the charitable remainder trust or CRT or other beneficiaries, with the remainder of the donated assets going to your favorite charity or charities. This charitable giving strategy generates income and can enable you to pursue your philanthropic goals while also helping provide for living expenses. Charitable trust can offer flexibility and some control over your intended charitable beneficiaries, as well as lifetime income, thereby helping with retirement, estate planning, and tax management. Y'all like that one better? Sounds a little better, right? So, how does a charitable remainder trust work? A charitable remainder trust is a split interest giving vehicle that allows you to make contributions to the trust and be eligible for partial tax deduction based on the CRT's that will pass to charitable beneficiaries. You can name yourself or someone to receive a potential income stream for a term of years, no more than 20. I'll read that again. You can name yourself or someone else to receive potential income stream for a term of years, no more than 20 years, or for the life of one or more non-charitable beneficiaries, and then name one or more charities to receive the remainder of the donated assets. There are two types of charitable remainder trust: CRTs, charitable remainder annuity trust, and charitable remainder uni trust. The first one is distribute a fixed annuity amount each year and additional contributions are not allowed. And the next one is distribute a fixed percentage based on the balance of the trust assets and additional contributions can be made. Contributions to the CRATs and CRUTs are irrevocable transfer of cash or property, and both are required to distribute a portion of income or principal to either the donor or another beneficiary. At the end of the specified time or term for this income interest, the remaining trust assets are distributed to one or more charitable remainder beneficiaries, and they show a diagram. You make the contribution into the trust, you can pull that back out to you, or you can have an income stream that goes here, right? You can pull some, it can grow, and you can do a partial deduction, and then you can do an income stream. Or you can do three, and you can pick your charities that you want to give to. And remember, those charities can be your somebody that's a friend of yours that has a charity that's set up. You can donate to their charity or what have you, right? So they're going to making partial tax deductions. I'm gonna go over this more tonight because it lines up with some of the things that he say in that video. But I wanted you all to have this information. I wanted you to understand it. Again, we got after hours. I'll probably do an after hour section tonight. I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you got some good context of what I talked about. Bet on you. I hope you can you set up your own charity and contribute that way? Yeah, you set up you set up your own charity. I put the after hour sessions in Slack. I don't know if you all are a part of Slack, and I also sometimes I'll go out there and put it in the community channel. And then I let it sit out there for like an hour and then I delete it. Um, and then go from there. Again, it was Tam After Hours. We talk about pretty much everything finance, and network and see how we can help each other build. and what things do we want to help each other build with, and how can we do it? Yep, we still have Calendly set up. I think D opened that up. That's okay. I got this every scientist. It reminds you of work. It's okay. It reminds me of making money. I got you. But let us know. Leave comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Go watch uh Tech Tip Tuesday. Go watch Foolish Finance Fridays. Let us know what your thoughts are. If you like it, you didn't like it, whatever the case may be, leave your thoughts, whatever. Don't, I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna respond in a petty way. I'm just saying I ain't gonna respond in a petty way. I'll be nice. All right, y'all be safe, and I catch y'all on the next show. I don't know. Do you have the next show scheduled today? You do? Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. All right. See you later.